Weekly wrap number 7. So this is our seventh episode, Jake.
Yep.
What do you reckon? It's been pretty.
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty. I don't know, jam-packed, full of goodness.
Full of goodness. It's funny, obviously, from the first to now. We're feeling a lot more comfortable running through our little game plan, and it's been. I suppose it's been pretty cool giving you guys a bit of an insight on what happens in 7 days, and a lot tends to happen at that time. But more importantly, it gives us an opportunity to talk about topics we come across quite regularly with mentees or people in general asking certain questions. So really looking forward to delivering, these weekly wraps every week for you guys, and we've got one hell of a year ahead as far as business, our own personal goals, and obviously everything in between.
Yep, awesome.
All cool. So, last 7 days of food and training. Jake, what's been happening, mate?
Food's actually dropped a little bit because I stopped surfing this week.
So what happens there? Like
to 380.
Yep.
So I dropped, basically calories are just coming down because I'm not burning as much energy. And that's because the first few days my weight was going up a bit too quick because I wasn't surfing. So I just pulled it back a little bit because I want to try and keep it lean. And then training wise, highlight of the week was probably getting through our deadlift session that we did. So coming off very little sleep, just
did we do deadlifts and squat session?
This was so squats, and then 2 days later squats were awesome. Felt good, so that was not too bad, a little bit flat, but then Wednesday for deadlifts, that's when I was feeling it. Legs were sore, tired as, didn't sleep much, but got in and got through it. We did like 9 or 10 sets or something, inclusive of our working sets, so I was pretty full on. I was just stoked to get through that.
No, that would be up there as far as 2 of the toughest mental sessions that we've experienced, because obviously I think energy just wasn't. Energy and motivation was lacking somewhat, but once we got into it and got those first few warm-up sets especially, which always feel very, very heavy.
You start with the bar and like, Jesus.
The bar it actually feels heavier than your working set, so I think taking our time, but I'd have to agree, they were some big highlights. We PB'd in volume, but we both looked at each other and went, it's still not good enough. It doesn't,
Weight-wise, it wasn't a peep. Like, I think that was a harder session than legs, which I PB'd on. But I was happy with the deadlifts because we just got through it without
we survived.
So that was definitely the highlight. Training-wise, how's your nutrition been?
Food's been pretty much on song. Like, I went to Byron last weekend, so I did the best I can. I took some prep meals. I did as best I can there, and I come back on Wednesday, and I'll come back on Sunday, but on Wednesday check-ins, I was up a little bit, just a tiny bit, and I was expecting that anyway, but this weekend I'm going to keep it very straightforward as far as my game plan. No real cheat meals or anything like that. I'll just bank some calories for the afternoon, but I just realised that it's around 565 grams a day of carbs I've been consuming. The rice cakes are copping an absolute beating at the moment, and that's not even counting fibre. So we worked out it's probably around 620 grams of carbs in total for me at the moment. And as Jake and I were just talking about before we started filming, I think it's just over 4 weeks for me before D-Day starts. So I'm gonna just enjoy the food while it lasts. But training wise, it's been insane. Me, Dave and Leon are all doing legs tomorrow morning while Jake's lapping it up down in Byron Bay. So we'll definitely send him a few videos as far as that, because we got no choice but to get things done. So all in all, last 7 days I'm pretty happy with. I'll be looking forward to next Wednesday check-in as well. So
awesome. Sounds good.
All good. Now, obviously following on from that, Byron trip me last weekend, and Jake's following suit this weekend. So mate, what do you got planned? How have you manipulated your food as best you can so you obviously come back as less unscathed as possible? What have you done?
So this afternoon I'll just be doing my meal preps, and that'll just be for my lunch and dinner meals, and then for brekkie I'll just be going out. So I'll just do eggs and on toast and something like that. So keep it nice and simple. So the food's not a drama. It's just probably the alcohol that I'll have tomorrow night, So I've got 6 Coronas that I need to try and fit into my macros that I was actually given them from Shane. So thank you, Shane, for the Coronas.
Oh, Shane,
Yeah,
you're a great influence, but a bad one at the same time.
So I thought I might as well touch now on how I'm going to sort of incorporate that into my macros, because it's not as simple as scanning the barcode in, as you've touched on before.
Yep.
So we need to look at the total amount of calories. So for my Corona, 150 calories.
Is it 150?
Corona for the extra.
Yep, okay.
Double check just before.
Yep.
So 150, and I plan on having 6. So that's 900 calories. Now the reason we're looking at calories, not just your carbs, fats, protein, because you add them up and it doesn't work out. The calories are under because they're not including the alcohol, sugar. So it actually brings your calories up. So I get 900 and I just divide that by 4. So 4 calories per gram of carb.
Yep.
And then I can take that figure away from my carbs for the day. So that will come down to, that leaves me, when I take 380 from 225 grams of carbs from the...
So 6 pack in total,
Yep.
you take, equates to roughly around 225 grams of carbs.
That's correct. So take that from my macros at 380, leaves me 155.
It seems so low, doesn't it?
It
But
does.
That's some people.
155.
Yep.
So that'll be basically my meals,
Yep.
155 for the day, which isn't too bad, because I'm on high food to start with, so I can get away with it. So that's my plan, and just keeping it simple. And I'll be out surfing and whatnot, so I'll just be trying to have brekkie, good lunch, dinner, try to get a snack in, and then onto my beers.
Yeah, cool. So guys, just remember this. We'll follow this up and see if Jake stuck to his 6 beers. And go from there.
Well, with surfing, will hopefully blunt out
absolutely.
any additionals that might sneak in there.
It was like when we went to the Byron Bay Lighthouse and Googled it was 9 minutes drive and ended up in an hour walk through like this and an hour back. So I think I've definitely burned off some extra there too. So
yeah, nice. So lots of activities to help me out there as well. So I should come back unscathed. But yeah, just being prepared for it's the biggest thing. If I wasn't ready, I'd get down there and not have meals, and then probably probably be downhill from there.
Good thing is there's a Woolworths just down the road too. I mean, they're normally everywhere as far as holiday destinations or close by, so it makes it very easy as well. Or a big esky, that's what I took down last time. So
yeah, cool.
Keep it on the food front. I today just didn't have time this morning to get up early and get the barbecue ready and do my chicken in bulk like I normally do, and it's very, very easy normally, but there's been so much going on work-wise and training and everything this week. I just got caught out again, so what I did is I just shot through to the supermarket 15 minutes before starting work this morning, and what I did, again, rice cakes, they seem to be a perfect staple as far as my carb consumption, because it's so high. I don't want to eat ridiculous amount of rice or pasta or anything like that, because you do get sick of it. So rice cakes tend to be my staple as far as my carbs are concerned. There's so many different microwave rices, the flavors out there. So if you do just get sick of either plain flavor or you are adding condiments and seasonings, that's fine. But I just get the plain basmati rice microwave, nice and easy. I really like to add either spinach or the coleslaw mix to my meals. It just gives it a bit of crunch, and obviously keeps the volume in there as well. And I know a few of you have been asking once again, but I've got there's barbecue pulled chicken, pork or beef, which I got here. So I've been smashing the beef today, and I get a couple of packs because obviously my food consumption is rather high. So that's for the protein portion of it. And I've just got hummus in the fridge all the time and a bit of salt and pepper, and it's nice. Absolutely beautiful.
Where's that from, Woolies?
Woolies, Coles do have them as well, but they're a different. Yeah, because a lot of people get.
I'm looking at that. They're like 150 grams from Coles. So.
Yeah, it's a bit smaller. But that there, guys, like honestly, rice cakes, the microwave rice again, coleslaw mix, and that 5-10 minute shot. And all it takes prep-wise is just to put it together. So when people go, oh, I don't have time, I mean, I'm up at, Jake's up, we're up training and everything at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes not getting home due to work commitments or whatever it may be till 8, 9 at night. So if someone tells me they don't have time, yeah, it just goes in one ear and out the other, and you're exactly the same as far. There is always a way. And I always say, do your actions meet your expectations? Don't go expecting miracles when you're not willing to put the work in behind the scenes as far as prep wise, because it ain't going to happen. So yeah,
absolutely. All right, I think I'll just show you our apparel that we got in.
Yes.
Yep. So what have we got here? These are mine that I've been wearing this week. Some of you've probably seen. So that's just our walk and talk one.
So that's the tank tee, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Tank tee.
So we're getting quite a few more of those printed up.
And then we've got our tee back as well. Got a couple of ladies ones in.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah, actually, cool. Yeah, we've got a few of the ladies.
Flat brim, and we've got
just the flexi style caps as well.
So yeah, it's my favourite.
It's been pretty cool seeing our crew wearing the gear around it. Not only does it look great, it's just it's a bit of we get pretty chuffed seeing the guys wearing it with pride. Cool. So
yeah, good quality stuff too.
So that'll all obviously be available online on the Walk the Talk Fitness website, which. Yeah, there's a lot of work going on the scenes. We're not going to launch it until we're 100% happy with it as well.
Yeah, so, not far off though, so that'll be very cool. And then I think the last thing for the day was going over our training diaries that we started. Yeah,
training diaries, definitely. So what's the use of playing game without keeping score? I always used to put that one in the back of my mind, and when I've got stats and figures as far as poundages, because you know roughly what you're hitting weight-wise, but when it's written down and you're referring back to it in the next week's session, it's on. It's just, you know exactly what you've done before, and you are in there to better yourself and progress every single week. So how have you found since?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been really good, especially noting like whether you got a PB or not. Then next week we can look back and obviously try and beat it, and you can look at the amount of volume you're doing. And then down the bottom, say how intense it was, what your appetite was like that day, your mood, and your sleep quality, which is all really important when you go on to next week and try to hit last week's. Like, do you feel better? Then you should be able to beat it.
Yep.
So this is like deadlifts. You can see the amount of volume we've got in there. Coming up to, that's 11 sets, 5 working sets, and then plus more warm-ups on top of that. Yep. So pure volume in there, and then some wide grip lat pull downs to finish it off.
Yeah, I was done by then. Yeah. So yeah, no, they've been really good. Just another bit of data for us, and motivation wise, it's just so good to see what you've done the week before to beat. Yep. Absolute thumbs up. These will also be available online. We'll have them all there. I think we'll be again, once they're up and running, we'll let you guys know. Yep. And
that'd been awesome, because one thing's in your phone, but I just really
gets lost.
It's really good.
Yeah. Awesome. So big thumbs up there. I'm glad I got those through last week. The other thing too, I really wanted to touch on this. This really blew my mind as far as I was listening to a podcast from a world-renowned expert, and he was saying about the stats in relation to dieting as such, like people following some sort of diet plan or fad diet, etc. And I mean, I of course had this conversation with Jake because I was pretty rattled about it as well, and this is something we're exposed to on a massive level as far as the people that we're mentoring as well, is that within 2 years of people dieting, 85% of people relapse. In 3 years, 95%. And 2/3 of those people that relapse with their diets put on more weight than when they first started.
Yeah. So you're talking meal plans, dieting, low carb, Atkins, whatever it may be, just general or some sort of fat diet that they're trying, because you've got to think that it shouldn't be considered dieting as such. It's something that can integrate and fit well within your lifestyle, and you've got to think this needs to be a tactic that you can adopt to use for the rest of your life. So those stats there simply tell us that diets don't work. Yeah.
Or very, very minimal. Those who are just you got that 5% of people that will just follow it to a T, and they just don't even really care what they eat.
And then even then, what are they learning from it? Being given something, they still don't understand the nutritional values going into each meal. So if they're left by themselves without a coach or whatever it is, then what do they do?
Yeah, there's no learning component through there. And like since Jake and I, honestly, it would be a good 2.5 years ago now that we got introduced to flexible dieting or counting macros. It not only our knowledge base as far as the nutritional value of food, and no matter what scenario where we come up with as far as being on holidays or we skip a meal and have to go to the shops, we can make it work regardless. It's so much easier. It's something because what Jake likes, if I was writing a food plan for Jake, but I like certain foods and gave it to him, it's only got so much longevity.
Yeah.
So stats wise, as far as people on the flexible dieting train, it helps them use foods that they enjoy, but it also helps them understand the nutritional value of foods so that when they're faced with holidays or any type of scenario, they're able to pass with flying colours to make sure that they still feel like they're living life and socialising and doing all the things they enjoy without feeling like they're restricted to a particular diet. So if you guys out there or anyone's interested in that side of things, it's certainly a big passion of ours as far as the whole flexible dieting solution. And we can speak only from experience from ourselves. But the men and women we've been able to mentor and transform over this quite a considerable period of time.
Yeah,
so
definitely agree on that. Like Byron wouldn't be happening because if I was on a meal plan, I'd have to pack all my meals. No drinks are in that, but I can manipulate it. And occasionally as well, it's not every weekend. And then holidays as well, you can't take your meal plan on a holiday, but you can take flexible dieting.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely something to consider, guys. And obviously those stats there, it's pretty alarming, and it proves a point as far as just dieting as such or following a diet plan. It's only got so much longevity. This flexible dieting side of things or counting macros are understanding that. Technology's allowed us to make it very easy for us to calculate it. And not only that, it's something that you can incorporate in your lifestyle for the rest of your life, plain and simple, hands down. So yeah, hope you have a bloody safe and enjoyable trip down in Byron. And as I said, guys, we'll hold him to that 6 drinks next week and see how he goes.
I haven't had a successful Byron trip for a while. Rhabdo ended up in hospital.
Yes.
And then the one before that,
yeah.
We got asked to leave the apartment and had to go to the Gold Coast.
Oh, there you go.
This one's going to be nice and tame.
Excellent. So, guys, hope you enjoyed the weekly wrap number 7. It's our 7th week of doing the shows, and we've been really enjoying getting certain topics and information and giving you an insight of what happens in our lives on a 7-day week.
Awesome. We'll see you in a week.
Thanks guys.